All right, Stu, did you hear? It's been a couple days now. Everybody's talking about it. We had another UAP hearing in America. Did you hear about that?
I did. It's pretty amazing how frequently you're having them over there. I find it very encouraging, Mike. Really on board with it.
Yeah, it's definitely great to have another one, and we did get another breadcrumb or two. I personally do believe this stuff is, no disrespect here at all, okay? But let's call it what it is. It's all completely scripted, for sure. But it's interesting as to what's been put out this time. And I want to talk about that because, from my perspective, I've got some questions that maybe people aren't even considering yet. So,
I saw that video of your military, from what I can tell, firing upon the UFO, the UAP, which is not a very nice welcome. I don't know. I guess they're considered foreigners. I don't know what's going on there, what the dynamic is there.
Yeah, man. So I've always curious what it looks like. We may or may not have talked about this in another episode, but what's it look like from a non-American perspective? Like, how do you view us?
Listen, we love you guys. You know, we're basically our cousins down here in Australia, but you're kind of gung-ho with the, like, let's shoot that thing down. Like, where's diplomacy here? I don't understand. Maybe there's some part of it missing here, but I don't get the sense that craft fired on your military first. I don't know. I'm not sure, Mike.
Good point. We don't have all the information. I can only guess that the UFO did not engage us. Interestingly enough, when we talked to, going back, to our first guest, Kevin Day, he said right there a long time ago, actually, he talked about don't fire missiles at them. And at that point in time, to my knowledge, there wasn't really any public discourse about us firing missiles at them. So, it seems like there's... anyway, he obviously knew that... well before the world did, right? But he would also be in a position to know, I guess. What I'm wondering, though, is, like, it's just not adding up to me. I have to assume that the video is legitimate and authentic, and there's no indication that it's not, although I haven't done video analysis. Other people have. But from my perspective, if I'm doing video analysis, I need the original file, which of course the military is never going to give that to you. But here's the thing. Let's split the hairs about that. You've got a missile that I think goes about 1,000 miles an hour, and it was fired at the UFO, and the UFO sort of breaks up into a little piece. I'm sure everybody saw it, right? There's, it's all over everybody's news, as it should be, because it's a quite fantastic thing. But we'll get to the good stuff soon. And the missile keeps going. Missile doesn't explode. It keeps going. And the UFO doesn't fall out of the sky. It keeps going. And then the pieces that got broken away from it also keep going. It's almost as like... almost like a starfish in a way, like where you cut off the one limb, it just grows back another one, and the limb that's cut off just regenerates. That's pretty wild in and of itself. Let's pause there. What do you have to say about that aspect of it?
Okay, so are you telling me there are some fragments after so they did connect then, the missile and the UFO potentially, and there's some fragments that fly off? Have I got that right?
Yeah, so based on the video that we're seeing, it appears as though the missile did make contact with the UFO, and it then broke. There's 3 pieces that broke off. I suppose what I'll do is I'll just go grab that from somewhere and toss it up, in the unlikely event that anyone hearing these words hasn't seen that yet. It is sort of still new news, and it does take several weeks, in my opinion, for the news cycle to circulate around. But point is, we're not really... This is out of our wheelhouse a little bit, right? We're not trying to jump on the news, but because of what we talk about, I feel like it's appropriate that we comment a little bit briefly about this stuff. But here's my biggest thing. It doesn't make sense. The missile is a physical thing. And let's just assume that it was an unarmed missile, never intended to cause an explosion. When you fire something at 1,000 miles an hour, a physical object at another physical object, I don't think it requires like any type of explosive material to be inside for both objects to break into pieces.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's a collision there.
Yeah, a high-speed collision with two things that are physical, unless this is pure speculation, and it's wild speculation. But welcome to UFO world, folks, because it's all wild stuff. What if the UFO wasn't fully physical?
Yeah, okay, that's really interesting because I've wondered if these craft are on a slightly different frequency. So the simplest way I could describe it is like if you shot a missile at a ghost or shot a gun at a ghost. So it's on a different frequency. We can still see it in some instances, but it's not really there.
I don't mean to laugh, but that was just cool. I like how you're saying it. Like, shoot a missile at a ghost. That's totally an American thing to do.
Yes, it is.
I
We
love
got
my
that
country.
ghost.
I love my country. I really do. But no, like, what if that's the only thing that really sort of makes sense in a way to me, because the Hellfire missile traveling at 1,000 miles per hour, approximately. It should have, the missile itself should have broken into pieces.
Hmm.
And for potential skeptics out there who say, well, that's what the three pieces were. No, I mean, the three pieces that seemed to have come off of the UFO then started flying in formation behind what we're going to
Wow.
call the UFO.
I didn't-
So
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's
it's not
crazy.
just like some shit flew off. It was some stuff gets disconnected and then, flies along with it. I don't have an explanation for that at all. I really don't. But I'm confused as to why the missile itself didn't disintegrate on impact, regardless of if it had explosives or not.
That's so crazy. Isn't there some, I'm not in the military, so I don't fully understand this, but I think some of our aircraft they release particles behind the aircraft to attract the missile. Now, what do they call that? I can't remember the name of it, but
So it's like so I think what you're talking about is like a heat seeking missile, and they're like flares of some kind that are hotter than the engine to
That's
throw
it.
the missile off course. Oh, interesting. So what you're saying potentially is the UFO may have been that's a great theory. That okay. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, maybe releasing some decoys, some alternative targets. So I find that very interesting.
Okay,
It's
well, because I am a UFO investigator, so I'm gonna um, I'm gonna come at you for that one. It was a great,
Yeah.
it was a great one. But check it out. I don't think that's what it is though, because here's why: it didn't happen in advance of the missile being in proximity. It happened like the missile appears to physically touched the craft, and then it happened. So if that's what it was, they were little too late on the anti-missile flare firing, as it were. So I'm gonna
Okay,
blow
well,
that one out of the water.
along with the UFO. Well, another thing I find interesting is I guess the public is on a need to know basis now, because normally we wouldn't be shown any of this stuff. So for some reason, there's a willingness to show us this. I can't quite figure that out either. So I imagine the military have a bunch of videos and data on this. And why that one? See what I'm getting at? Why are we being shown that particular one?
I can only speculate right now. I think there's a possible rumor, and this is why I don't like to get into this kind of stuff too much, because it's still breaking news in a way, and we really don't have all the information. And we're on this channel. We're not journalists. We're not trying to be. But I do believe that this is very well scripted, for sure, because even the whistleblowers, who I do respect, and it takes courage to put your whole everything out there. So don't get me wrong on that, but they are cleared to say what they're going to say. Like the Department of Defense gives them the approval to say the words that they want to say. So that right there does give me a little bit of pause, and like, why, what's up with that aspect of it? And I shouldn't be like that, right? But let's be real about this. Like, if you're a whistleblower, tell us the stuff without getting permission, and I suppose that's when you go into jail or something. So it's a weird position to be in. But
Yeah, very much. Like even in the corporate world, that's a risky strategy. coming forward, because you've signed non-disclosure agreements, all kinds of things. Like, it's very delicate. It's going to take a certain amount of courage, and there's got to be a motive for doing that. I guess the motive might be that there's some danger to us or some deception, that someone feels the need to blow the whistle on what's happening. But this is also coming from an official source now. So, I don't mean to be skeptical, Mike, but I also question the motive about why we're being shown something and why that particular image, that video. But I'm very grateful that we are seeing it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got a little off course there because the original comment that I was trying to make was, I think it got to response to your comment. I think it was leaked potentially. That's the rumor that I've heard. It was leaked to Representative Burleson, who then, tossed it up into this latest hearing. I could be wrong on that. And, if I'm wrong, then throw your tomatoes and I deserve it. But if I'm, that's what I believe it is. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, and again, I don't want to be negative Nelly here. We are making progress for sure, but it's almost like, it's such a slow thing where we're going to give you just a little bit more information to spark the conversation, and we're going to stop short of saying really anything useful. And I do want to put out there too, I finally got a chance to listen to the whole thing, and from my understanding, there isn't any action items. There's not any follow-up. So I support it, but man, stop being like the government. Like if you're trying to get the government to tell you that they've been lying to you, well, if you go about in the way that you're, I don't know.
Well, down here, we've had the Westall UFO incident from 1966 back in our mainstream media. And there's a petition that's being raised by the public that we be given and furnished with information regarding that incident. So even down here, we're interested in these topics from the past and wanting to get clarity on them. But this is the thing I want to ask you, Mike. Is the regular person in the street becoming more and more aware of this or not? Now, we are, because it's on our radar, forgive the unintended pun there. So we find out when these things happen because we're looking out for them. But a regular person, are they aware of it?
I believe so. I got to ask a couple more people, but I asked somebody earlier, somebody that I know very well, who I'm pretty darn confident does not follow this topic in any way, shape, or form, and they're like, "Yeah, that's the missile video, right?" And then they were actually a little bit confused if that had to do with the actual hearing, or it sounds like they may have seen two videos. So I told him, I was like, "Yep, oops." I was like, "Yeah, you did see it, and that was all part of the same thing." So it's definitely becoming more pervasive, and more people are learning about it. And that's what I think. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is all scripted. Like they're slowly getting to everyone to wrap your heads around this. But that's why the other thing too is probably why YouTube is effectively seeming to censor us nowadays. Is we're so far ahead of this, I think, than anybody else. And I don't give a crap what you think about me saying that. It's just true. At the end of the day, we're firing a missile at a UFO. Who's flying the UFO? Okay.
I thought that, yes, that's a good question to ask. I'll tell you another nice thing too. Our interview with Tanya Vassi, who was a witness at the UFO incident at Westall, started becoming our most watched video when that incident was on our mainstream news again. So I like the fact that people are seeking further information. I can tell they're obviously searching for information on what they've seen on mainstream media. So our channel is also serving a purpose here with some of our old interviews. They're there for anyone to watch at any time. I really love that.
Oh, that's good to know that that we are being found when people are searching out some stuff. One of the folks recently made a comment as well, thanking us because we, for them, solved the mystery, and I think we, for us, solved the mystery as well. There was
wow.
Well, of that, not of the whole topic, but of that particular case, right?
Right. I see. Well, that's big news. We've solved the whole UAP discussion. So it's been fun, but all the best with the rest of your life now.
Well, I mean, I am of the mind that we're pretty darn close. if you stack our conversations on top of each other. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to comment with you real quick about that and just toss out these questions in the event that someone potentially finds this, and maybe other podcasters who have bigger megaphones or microphones or whatever. Feel free to delve into our conversations, whatever, good, bad, indifferent. We don't care about that. But ask these questions to your bigger public audience, like, why is the missile not disintegrating or exploding when it hits the thing? Like, is the object we're firing at even physical or fully physical? That's my big question.
Great questions, Mike. And presumably the military are asking the exact same question. So I find this fascinating.
Yeah, potentially. I got to assume the military knew before we even fired upon it if it was, physical or not, as it were. But after that, who knows what they knew, if anything at all.
Okay. I'm looking forward to future disclosures, and I actually really like what's happening in America, Mike. So you're really leading the way with these hearings, I'd feel, then there's a genuine kind of, some people there are trying to be transparent and are trying to tell us things and trying to share information. I've got major respect for those people.
Likewise. Even my sometimes critical comments, I support all of them 100%, and hopefully they keep doing it, have the courage to continue to do it, because it needs to be done. Yeah, it truly does. And then at some point, after all that, people can then find these conversations, and because once you get past that, I don't mean to be, say it the wrong way, but once you get past the surface level stuff that still is all the news is talking about, really, then these more profound questions quickly come out.
Fantastic, and we are here to have that discussion.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us on this little ditty here, and check out our other conversations, and we'll be back real soon.
Thank you. Much love.